So the training that I was referring to in the previous video concerning my journey with my body, it was about $3,000, I think, total, including like my ticket to fly, to get to and from retreat. Anyways, there were books I had to buy, so maybe a little more than that, actually. I don't know. But I gave it to the Lord, and I prayed about it. I was like, God, I don't have an extra dime. And at that time, we were struggling financially. I'm not even gonna lie, we were struggling. So to take on this debt was not an easy decision for me. I trusted the Lord, and now I shared my story in some of my online groups like the At Home Tribe and such. And before I knew it, people started sending donations to me to cover the cost. And long story short, all of the expenses were covered. All of them. I didn't pay any. It was all sent to me to put towards it. From people I didn't know. Some people I did know that eventually I shared what I was doing with. And you know what? I didn't share with people what I was doing because I was embarrassed. I was, one, afraid I would fail, and two, I didn't want people looking at me and any type of expectation put on me. But anyways, I did it. So every dime the Lord provided. No, that is no lie. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my kids. I didn't tell anyone that I was going to be gone for a week in Arizona by myself. You just have to know me to know that that's just unlike my character. So about 3 nights before it was time for me to leave, I talked to my husband. I went over and talked to my mom and tried to explain it to her, and I talked to our children, and I just told them it was a wellness retreat for me to take care of me so that I could be a better mom, better daughter, better wife, and such for them. So anyways, I did it. Everything was covered. I got on that plane, and I remember getting on the plane, and I thought, oh my goodness, I researched everything. I didn't even know how to buy my own plane ticket. A friend of mine that flies frequently ordered it for me. I sent her the money, but I still don't know the actual method, how to buy a plane ticket and all that stuff. I just looked up online and found a place to stay with a shuttle here, from the airport to the hotel, and then from the hotel to where I needed to be. And anyways, it was all covered, and by the grace of God, everything was figured out and fell into place beautifully when I got on the plane. I knew, though, because I had researched like what I was allowed to have, what I was allowed to carry, what not, and all of that jazz. But I also knew I would have to have a seatbelt extender. And I thought, how am I going to tackle that without being humiliated, right? It was smooth as silk. I got on. I said to the attendant, I'll need a seatbelt extender, please. Sweet as can be. Went back to my seat. Now, me getting in my seat, hilarious. Actually, I was at the airport a little early, and a flight that was going where mine was had an extra seat, and they were like, do you want it so you don't have to wait here? Sure. I get back there, honest to Pete, it was me and jolly old St. Nicholas. I mean, this guy was as big as me. We were overlapping on each other. I got tickled. I mean, I couldn't help it. I got tickled. People in the airplane looking at us, I just got tickled. So I was trying to put my carry-on under the seat in front of me, and again, I don't have a lot of experience flying. I really don't know if there's a smooth method to it, but the plane was very, very small because we were leaving from Charleston, West Virginia, and very small plane, and then we had a layover and got on a larger one to get the rest of the way to Arizona. But I didn't realize it, but my butt, when I was bent over, my butt was, inches from the gentleman in the next aisle. He had an aisle seat. It was just inches from, I don't even know if you'd say inches, maybe centimeters from his face. He was leaning back. I cracked up and then apologized, and finally I had to sit down and was like, oh Lord, whew, just get me to the next plane. Okay, so got the seatbelt extender on. The guy beside me had to have one. So get the extender on, and we're just mushed in our two little seats. Right? But we make it. It was an odd experience. I'd only flown one other time in my life, and it was when I was much, much younger. But I made it. So I get off of the plane, and then I have to navigate the airport. So we flew to North Carolina, I believe, and so I had to navigate that airport. Now, guys, I'm not real travel savvy, right? So, I prayed, I looked at every little thing, I read, I asked people, and I hustled, and anyways, got on that plane just fine. I did the same thing to get a seatbelt extender. It worked smoothly. Again, all was very well. So anyways, that gets us to the retreat almost kind of. We met, I went from the hotel, took a shuttle all by myself from the airport to the hotel, got checked in. I stayed there, didn't go out or anything. I ordered food in. I met him in the lobby because, I was afraid. I watched a lot of TV. Anyway, got up the next day, took the shuttle back to the airport, which was where we were all meeting for the retreat. And then from there, we got on buses and went. And it was amazing. And I want to walk you through that experience with me. So I'll be back.